What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Meet the Critters. This is episode 41. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Joe.
And we're in for it, kids. I know all of you came in and saw that description and you're like, this is going to be a big one. This is going to change the game and just launch these guys to stardom, honestly. Like, we don't even have time to farm. We're going to be on so many speaking tours and stuff because this podcast is going to change it all. Perfect. Well, I lied. We completely lied to you. 100%. It's all fabricated. Fake news. Sorry, guys. No, in realization.
This is fake news.
This is fake news. Right. Yeah, in all realization, we had a guest lined up. They could not do it. All of our backups also were like, nope, we can't do it. And we were running around trying to figure out what we were doing. And we're like, all right, cool. We're just going to make a time suck, an hour of time that people are going to lose on the internet. We're just going to post it out and we're going to see what happens. It's going to be great.
So we appreciate you guys that are listening.
In all realization, this might be one of our better episodes because we're just like, meh. Who's in the chat? We got Digger in the chat. Canadian Farmstead, Danae Blakesley. We are not ridiculous. Listen, we have a podcast. That makes us one step above people who don't have a podcast. So
I'm going to go shut my freezer off real quick. It's pretty loud.
So yeah, it's been an interesting time. Like I said, we're going to joke around. We're just going to have a lighthearted episode. We're both going to touch on kind of just the point in time we both feel like we're in where you get somewhat burnt out from farming and just all of it. So I know it doesn't get talked about enough for sure. Because it makes like everyone I talk to who does experience the same thing is like, they don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's like, no, I'm supposed to be fine. Like I could suck it up. It'll be all right.
It does need to be talked about more, though, because you get on, like we always nitpick on the big YouTube channels that make it look like all sunshine and rainbows. And, but yeah, it's not all that. I mean, you get not just the farm stuff you get burnt out on, but just everyday life. We both have young kids, deal with that, our other personal life stuff, disasters that happen. And then the farm on top of it, a lot of people are starting out working full-time job, so, and then I've done it multiple times. I don't learn from my lessons.
No.
So once I dive into something, it's full bore and I got to eventually I hit a wall and I got to rein myself back and figure out what I'm going to do about it. So.
No, because you hit that incline of like, I'm going to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of go, all right, I got a little excited. I know I was going to touch on that. So we'll come back to this because I have to get into it. It's been pretty funny. No, you go off because you're so excited to do it because farming is the greatest drug on the planet. Hands down. Also, the most expensive. It is the most expensive habit to get into. Like, just smoke cigarettes, kids. It's fine. Like, no, do not go out and smoke cigarettes. It's been 22 days. Don't start it. It's not worth it. But yeah, and you go in because you're so amped on what you're doing. And I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. There's a reason we don't have cows right now because I went from chickens and rabbits to 2 cow-calf pairs. So that gets aggressive. And you need to it's good to hit a point. It is good in a way to hit a point where you just go, I can't do this anymore because it leaves a notch of like, I can't do this right now under these circumstances. And then when you are able to, you get to look back at that notch and be like, oh, all right, I passed it. Like, we're good.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with ways because that's where I'm at right now. with everything that's happened the last couple weeks, trying to figure out where my time's going to be best spent on what we're going to do at the farm. Because we had all intentions this year to try to grow our pasture pig operation and possibly the poultry operation. But now, with my grandfather getting hurt and me traveling every day back and forth to the rehab clinic and stuff, that's extra time that normally I would spend working on projects and cleaning stalls and all that. So I think we're just going to kind of even out. We might downsize the cattle herd a little bit. Prices are really good right now. It's kind of hard not to just send them all in. But at the same time, I've spent, 3 years, almost 3 years on this herd, building it up to where it's at. And it's not exactly where I want to be. And I've got stuff lined up this year with a pretty good bull that I'm excited about. And I don't want to just get out of it completely. And we've got, the milk cows. I definitely don't want to get away from that because it's tough to find raw milk here in New York. We got a local farm that sells it, but they're selling out of 80 gallons a day right now. That's how high the demand is.
That's crazy.
And they're doing a great job, but then you got to travel for the milk, and it's probably a lot more cost effective, to be honest with you, just to go buy it from somebody else. And they have great practices. So,
yeah. But how many times have you heard like, oh, you're raising your own food? It must be so much cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually talking to someone at the rehab center today about it when I was visiting my grandfather, because he he's not been around it and stuff. And I said, yeah, it's not cheaper, but you're looking at it as, anybody that has like a self-worth, when you do stuff like that, you feel accomplished at the end of the day. You go out and do chores, you're producing that. And then, it took me, I don't know, a good year and a half to get to the point when we first started homesteading and raising our own food. It was a good year and a half when we sat down. I sat down at breakfast one morning, and everything on that plate was something that I raised and processed. The milk I had from the goats, eggs from our chickens, pork from a pig that I raised and processed. And that's when the light bulb clicked for me. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool.
Oh,
it's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the quality, in the flavor, and what you're putting into those animals. And if you're stuck in a small partial or apartment or whatever, find a farm that you can trust. Somebody, if that farm's willing to let you come in and do a tour and sit down and talk to you about their practices, or, even if they have a YouTube channel, don't trust that because things can be edited out. But, if it's a good farm to work with, most of the time they're going to give you tours. If they're not super crazy, some farms get crazy about biosecurity, but most regenerative agriculture farms, their animals are super healthy, being out rotating.
Right.
So yeah, if you could partner with somebody, and even, there's deals that can be made. If you don't have enough land for cattle, but you have enough room for a few pigs, maybe find a cattle farmer or a friend that has more room that can raise a steer or two, and you guys trade a pig for a half a cow or whatever you work out. But there's a lot of different things that you can do to avoid burnout. I know, like I said, I've done it multiple times, and it's not always that you just jump in full bore and, you don't know how it ends. Like, I've been doing it long enough that I know that I only can do so much myself. It's just life happens. Stuff happens. My grandfather got hurt. Now I got more time that I'm away. We're building a new business with the butcher shop. I'm trying to focus more of my time here because this is the moneymaker right now. And the farm's not. I mean, we're still figuring out how to make that profitable, at least get to the point where it's self-sustaining, which is super hard. The cost that we've had into it just this past year and coming through the winters, outrageous. I'm pretty sure we had talked about, I think I'll be at over $4,000 in hay by
that's nuts. Like May. That's why I'm out of it. Like I love raising cows. I absolutely love them. I love raising pigs. They're great, but there's something about raising beef that's like, it's different. It's absolutely different. And like my moment for like what you were talking about, that breakfast, was our Christmas dinner this year, because every piece of protein on that table I grew and butchered. So it's like pork roast from one of our pigs, prime rib from a cow we raised, sausage from the deer I took this year. The only thing that wasn't from this property was pheasant that I got from somebody who lives 2 miles down the road. So it's like, and I said something about it at dinner. I was like, just so you all know, that's what's going on here. It was insanely expensive and not cost effective whatsoever. But this is the moment that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
My entire family's there eating stuff that I raised with my 2 hands from babies and then put through a shop that I built myself. That's what you're doing it for. Obviously, not everyone has the shop they built for themselves, but that feeling is still there where it's like, I raised this. Yeah, I sent it off to a butcher and got it back, but this was out there. That's crazy. That's why we do it. If you can make money in it at some point, amazing. We all strive for it.
Yeah.
But
if I could get to the point where the cows were paying for more of the hay, because I'm at the building stage of my herd where I don't have a lot of steers to process, where I'm not making the money off selling the meat. So I have to figure out where to do that. So I'm considering selling a couple of the feeders, taking a step back from raising for beef, building up the breeding herd, and see how that goes, just because prices are so good at the auctions right now.
Right.
And try to find other avenues, maybe sell calves this year again, keep the herd where it's at. You know, I've got good plans with that larger Santa Gertrudis cow, either selling her or processing her if I can't get her in the trailer towards the end of the year after she gives me another calf this year, just to get the genetics that I want, and then start fresh with that. Try to get to the point where they pay for their own hay this year. And same thing with the pigs. I haven't had a lot of interest yet on our pork list. So the litter I just had will probably all be sold. It's a good time for 4-H. I've had a few families reach out. So we'll probably let 4-Hers take this litter. And if I get interest by the time my next 2 litters are due in April, May, maybe we'll keep a couple, but I don't want to go hog wild with it. Just I got a lot of stuff that I want to get caught back up on that I put on the back burner doing the butcher shop this last year. And we've got, big things coming up with the butcher shop that's going to take my time and energy away. We got the new edition coming up here pretty quick, probably. We got survey in 2 or 3 days ago.
Nice.
I talked to our partner and we're both good with it. So I just got to have that finalized. And then I think once we get everything finalized and all the paperwork rolling with the bank to purchase the acre something for the butcher shop, we're going to start that addition, start making it more efficient and stuff. We have a couple people handing out hundreds of flyers for us. We got a couple other avenues that are trying to pick up because we have gotten a touch slower. But
yeah, I get it. I'm just picking up. I put a beef in on Monday.
Yep.
Thank God it went well.
I was going to ask you how that went. I haven't talked to you all week.
No, I know. We've both been slammed. No, it went good. No, well, we'll sum the rest of this up real quick, where it's farming burnout is a thing. Like, if you have a buddy who's a farmer or it's your spouse or whatever, and they're distant and just kind of like not talking about stuff, we're thinking. That's all we're doing is thinking about everything. And you get burnt out. But then the spring comes and all the new projects start. That's the other hard part of it. In the wintertime, there's nothing to build. Like, you're not building or growing. You're just maintaining. And all the animals are doing is destroying because they haven't moved in however many months because they're in their sacrificial areas over the winter. That's the other hardest part is everything just breaks because they're just destroying everything.
And at least that's where I'm at. Our area, it's frozen and cold and then muddy, and
you have to make sure
it's a constant battle to keep stuff up.
You're battling to make sure hundreds of gallons of water stay thawed.
Yeah.
Like that's I've always used that as a joke where it's like people talk about winter, but it's like they're taking pictures like with their PJ pants included in the picture at the snow outside. It's like, I'm so done with winter. And it's like, I just want to comment, like, now add that, keeping hundreds of gallons of water thawed during this with livestock. Go for it. Add that on top of your list. Just that one thing.
All this year at the beginning of the season, I was trying to figure out a way to help with that. And I developed the spring up by my pond. I haven't done a video on it. It's muddy right now because it kind of overflows, but I dammed it up enough to build it up. And it's always fresh flowing. It hasn't froze up at all this winter. And I just took a single strand of electric and I went just enough, deep enough that they can't stand in it, but they can reach your head and drink. So that the cows have had fresh water all the way along. It's been awesome.
That's great.
And then the goats are, I think I fill that up every 3 or 4 days, especially now that I downsized the goat herd. I've got, the pigs, they have a spring in the back of their pasture. So if something freezes up, I don't get too, I've been trying to build the last couple of years on making that more efficient because it is a time sink, just thawing water and then fixing fence, and your electric don't want to work because the ground's frozen or snow's over top or pigs got mud on it and the cows are walking through the fence because you hadn't had time to get up and put out a fresh round bale. So they, help themselves because they can't wait an extra hour till lunchtime.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm juggling both. I need to do repairs on both of my pig waters. One is in the big pigs, in the breeder's pen, they just destroyed the area where the water was. So it was just completely uneven. So now I had to move it and it's in like a temporary spot. Yep. But the 3 of them are going through 40 gallons a day. Plus there's a little bit of a leak in it. So it's like, I'm filling that one. That's the longer hose that has to be rolled up that I forgot to roll up. So that's currently frozen outside because I was too pissed to bring it inside.
Yeah.
And the piglets, their water is screwed. I need to completely tear that thing apart, put new gaskets and everything in.
Have you tried those bungs yet?
I completely forgot about them. I thought about them today as I was looking at the new leak that I have to fix.
I'm telling you, game changer. They will not rip the nipples out of that thing.
Well, they're not ripping the nipples. What they're doing is, because what I do is, which these bungs would help for sure, is I have the bungs that are independent. So you put them in, then put the PVC in. And I usually just run a drywall screw in the back of it. So they can't actually pull the PVC out. But what they're built for essentially is so that the pig can move it around in the bucket and not tear it out. Well, when it does that, it just rubs that freezing cold PVC against freezing cold thick plastic. And just completely tears that thing apart. So you have to go through and kind of replace them a bunch in the winter, and it sucks. And I know
that's what I like about the heavy duty bungs that I sent you, because they have essentially, it's a reverse thread nut. You make your, I think it's an inch and it was an odd hole saw size that you need, but it has a rubber gasket on both sides. Sure
that's the whole size for these two.
Yeah, it was an inch and something, depending on what size you get, and you want the inner thread size to be a 1/2 inch and the pig nipples thread right into it, and they're super strong. The barrels actually will wear out and break before the bungs will. I've never had a bung fail on me yet.
All right, so I'm gonna need to get some of those.
I mean, for the $20 or $30, you can get a 4-pack or whatever. They're so worth it. Yeah, I had awesome luck with them since I switched over. I've done multiple different things, and you know how pigs are. If they can move it a little bit, it's probably getting tore apart.
Oh, for sure.
All my barrel waters are flipped over and on top of the fences and everything right now. I looked at them today and I just shook my head and walked away. I said, I ain't dealing with it.
Nope. Joe, that really does sound like a coward's justification.
Leave it to Canadian.
Oh, good old Canadian. So this is in reference to right before we got on here. I have gotten hot and heavy back into TikTok, and I came in swinging, and it's paid off. I've been growing the page a bunch and putting out some good, funny content and shit. So that's been good. But I think I have my first vegan. And if I thought about it, I should have uploaded the video into here. But I think I had my first vegan comment in a video that I'm very excited about. And Canadian Farmstead baited the shit out of this dude to re-comment. He didn't take the bait from me. I was super nice about it and respectful. I was like, oh, please explain. And he's like, oh, the comment was, that's a coward's justification. And it wasn't on the video I did. The video I did was just like a template video with the guy from Oppenheimer, like walking away with his hand on his head. And it was actually much different than my usual content, which is just super dark humor. Essentially, it was just talking about how it's like most people look at butchers and people that do what we do for a living, and it's like, oh, you just kill shit. Like, whatever, that's fine. And putting into it saying, like, you saying that makes me think about all the animals I've had to put a second shot in and knowing that those animals deserved better. Like, that's the worst feeling on the planet. We feel it, like, not constantly, but like if it happens, it happens. And we feel that for a good day and a half. Like, I've explained that a couple times. I'm the hardest on myself. The majority of the time, the farmers are like, yeah, we get it. Like, usually, and again, it's usually on the animals that are problem animals that it's like, yeah, of course it took two. Of course. But again, the farmers are usually pretty decent about it where it's like, yeah, we understand. But me, as the person taking the shot and not getting it on the first time, and apparently 17,000 other people and 20 people who reposted the video feel they understand. And a guy commented on, it wasn't even the video. It was another comment on the video, like, oh, that's a coward's justification. And good old Canadian Farmstead just started attacking him on grammar. It was great. It was great. He wouldn't take the bite fully, but I don't know. It was our first vegan. It's a milestone. Mark the calendar.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I had someone reach out. I'm assuming it's on the butcher page because I didn't get the message. But Danae sent it to me a little while ago, and a guy heard my Passion Pig podcast episode, and he's local.
Canadian Farmstead says I was not attacking. I was helpfully correcting.
We all believe that.
All believe that.
But yeah, he reached out and he wants to work with us on processing their raising their first batch of pigs this year. And
that's awesome. I just had that as well. I had somebody from a little bit further north than me reach out. All of a sudden I had like 14 notifications on my Instagram. And I was like, what the hell? And it was this one farm followed me and started liking me, and I get a phone call. And he's like, hey, I heard your episode of Pasture Pig Podcast, and you're local. When are your pigs dropping? I want to buy a couple. And I was like,
nice.
That's pretty cool. So thanks, Troy. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I told Danae, I said, I wish that other blue butt had took and farrowed, because I've had so many, and I haven't even advertised, just friends and stuff, that how much you want for those piglets? How many do you have? And I'm like, how come I couldn't do that with the fall piglets? Like, that'd be great.
Right.
But now the more people know that I'm breeding and they, get the quality of pigs that I'm putting out, maybe we'll have a steady customer base, maybe starting next year. We get our breeding program set where we want it. The new gilts that I have lined up, I don't think are going to be old enough to breed when I want a farrow. There'll be a late spring, early summer farrowing, which is fine. But then that'll give them time for the next fall. We'll get them into the right
cycle
program. But maybe by that point, we'll be ready to start picking up our pastured pig, raising them again, like building it. And we get to play around with raising those genetics and doing some side-by-side comparisons. So
it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to finish that side-by-side video of that Mangalitsa and the old spot cross.
Oh, good. Yeah. I need to, after this, I need to finish editing my video that was supposed to be out yesterday that is not out yet. I was playing around with that new tripod. It's pretty slick. I like it a lot. I was doing a cow slaughter, and I'm like, listen, guys, you guys have seen me explain a bunch of cow slaughters. This is just going to be an on the farm, because I travel to the farm to do it. This is going to be an on the farm slaughter with it was a good backdrop. It's like, cool, let's just run it. And
Nice.
it was the tripod's cool, but I need to work with it more and understand it. Every time I use it, I'm figuring out new things that it does. You can put it up if you want.
No, they can go and read it.
All right. Down tonight. Down.
She's been heavy on me about having a third kid, and I told her that's a negative.
That's a big old negative. I agree. I am in that same boat. I don't even know where we were. I just completely lost. That one pulled me completely out. I don't know. Pigs. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to stick with 1 litter a year for right now, so I can time it for my slow time.
Slow time, yeah.
When it comes to slaughter, because that way I'm going to get my pigs that I'm putting in the freezer for my customers, and then I'll get everyone who I sold piglets to. So I know that then January, February, because if they're all born at the same time, they're all going to need to go in the processor at the same time. Yep. And who are you going to bring them to? Probably the guy you sold them to. So that way I'm making sure that I have business going into the
I actually thought about that. I was talking to Danae about that. When I sell the piglets, just offer booking those dates right there. So it's like guaranteed.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Just being like, we can go ahead and book a date right now of this is about. The only thing is I'll have to do that next year, because much like this batch I have now, again, I knew I was going to be raising them out longer, but I didn't know how long. So these guys are literally going to go in 1st of May.
Yeah.
To make room for the piglets and be able to kind of shuffle stuff around. But yeah, again, we talked about it on the other episode. I have some high hopes for these. Like, I think the meat quality is fantastic. It's just the size of them, like what they're going to get to by May 1st, because that's it. We're not going to grow them out any longer. So what the size is what it is. So we'll see.
Yeah, I actually had I put out the review video of that 2-year-old Mangalitsa cross sow this morning to show the quality and stuff, and I talked a little bit on there about my thoughts.
Canadian Farmstead. We didn't put up the original comment, so I don't. It doesn't make any sense to pop this one up. But holy shit, that one got me.
I'm hoping to get to the point where there's not a slow period in the shop.
Oh, and that is the correct answer. Oh my God. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am super interested to see what Red throws. It's going to be, it's crapshoot. I have no idea.
Yeah, the farm that I bought my Mangalitsa cross sows, his wife reached out to me today, said she had watched it, and we were talking back and forth on, what I'm finding with them and what they're finding, and like trying to figure out what we're doing different to get, different results. And I was telling her about that video. So, they're great people to work with. If people are interested in, Mangalitsa crosses that are local, they always have litters, and they're good quality pigs. Like the 2 sows, I kept them specifically because they grew faster than my other crosses. Yeah. But I think with this Mangalitsa cross piglets that I raised this year, their father was from the other batch that grew a lot slower. So I'm wondering if that slowed them down versus getting the genetics from their mother. So we'll see.
Right. And local too, just because, I mean, this is the game changer episode where thousands of new
everywhere. We will ship all the way across the United States. No,
I will send you piglets.
Yeah.
Check your FedEx.
They do it with dogs now. To say it's a mini population.
Yeah, FedEx a dog?
Not FedEx. They have like you could take it to the airport and ship it across the country.
Oh, that's not new.
Yeah,
you can do it with
a pig.
Yeah, actually, I do. My buddy who brought the Ossabas up from Georgia, that he's done it. He's sent, I think the furthest he sent them was Colorado. He sent pure mangas to Colorado. It's nuts.
All I picture is like one of those little skipper planes with a load of fucking Mangalitsa pigs in the back.
It's just like airdrop them. They don't even stop. They're just like parachute out the back. Jesus, every year.
Local to Western New York.
Trailer, so I can only imagine just a bunch of pigs getting yeeted at the back of a single engine plane.
See ya. Boom.
Just lands in front of a grizzly den. Like, oh no, we misjudged the target.
And that is how we have a wild pig population, folks.
I keep talking about this, and I just need to do it. I want to do a sit down, the entire video is me sitting right here, kind of like how Brian does his morning show, but just a 15-20 minute video on the Canadian Super Pigs, because the story is so insane of how it's a thing, but it's not insane. It's how people have been. It's people being people, essentially, is how it started.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do a full video with breaking it down really quick and just being like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And this is why we have super pigs that are traveling all over North America.
But I think the Canadian super pigs can't, because they must get the free healthcare like the rest of the population.
Exactly. Right.
So, they don't get sick or nothing.
It's all those Canadian tax dollars going into pigs. No, so I feel like I have to talk about it. I forget if I've talked about it on this podcast before, but it's absolutely
I think we briefly touched on it.
Yeah, I need to do more research on it, but my understanding of it at this point is it might have been as early as the 80s. Or it was before the 80s. Canada wanted to beef up, no pun intended, beef up their pig herds because yes, the beer Canadian farmstead, the beer maple syrup make them spicy. Essentially what they did is these pork producers had these big hog houses with Yorkshires, or another production style pig. I'm pretty sure it was Yorkshires. And they decided to bring in full-blooded Russian boars to breed into their stock, which at the time, the market loved it. They absolutely loved the meat. It was fantastic. They sold a shit ton of it. Well, around the 80s, that just went to the wayside. People didn't want that mixed breed, didn't want wild boar pork or whatever. Obviously, it was harder to deal with because they had full-blood Russian boars in a production setting. And it just wasn't, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze for them. And a lot of farmers put them down. And then a lot of farmers are like, well, I can't just shoot all these animals. Just open the gates and Canadian super pigs. So now, if you look at just a regular pig, if I let my Herefords just out into the woods within, I think it's something insane, 6 weeks. I don't even think it's months. I think in 6 weeks, whatever genetically is in pigs starts the process to turn them feral again. They'll start growing shaggier hair. They'll start growing tusks. They just transform into feral pigs, wild pigs again. Well, you take now a pig that's already wild because it's a Russian boar that takes, again, it's very similar to the Ossabas and the mangas where it's more heritage, obviously, because it's just wild. It takes longer for it to grow to get to the size where it's really dangerous. Well, now you've just added Yorkshires or whatever other production breed pig to this, which grows to like 300 pounds in 6 months, and just set them loose on the Canadian landscape and hoped for the best. It's nuts. It's a crazy story. I know there's way more involved with it, but I just think that's the funniest goddamn thing on the planet, where it's just like, wow. Like, you look at the problem we're having in Texas and like the South and stuff like that, where it's like they can trace those pigs back to like Columbus. Like, they can trace that back like hundreds of years. And then a bunch of dudes in the 80s were just like, we don't want these pigs anymore. And now they have Canadian super pigs that are sweeping the landscape, destroying everything.
Yep. See, that's why they killed all those pigs when COVID hit. They seen what happened up in Canada. They're like, fuck that. We're just going to shoot them and throw them in a pile.
I guarantee you there was somebody in a press conference, or like not a press conference, but in a meeting at some government office, Department of Agriculture, when they were talking about it. Someone brought up, it's like, we need to do something about this before people just start releasing their pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it would suck.
Not enough of us small processors.
Man, yeah.
The bad part is
even if there are so many rumors. There are so many rumors about pigs up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in my field.
I was going to ask you how your trail cam's doing.
Nothing.
Not
the pile is still there. Huh?
Not even a Sasquatch?
It has to be coyotes. He had to have seen just big coyotes, because we have massive coyotes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some pretty good size coyotes around here too.
So it's like, but it's, again, I have more than 3 people have told me they've seen pigs in my field and in the area. I almost helped a dude trap pigs in Maine 20 minutes from here. Like, in all the feed stores, there's signs like, look out for feral pigs. But again, the state doesn't want to do anything. Now that there's more trail cams out, more and more pictures are coming out. And it's like, again, it's not a standalone 300-pound, like, looks like a Hampshire pig. It's a like Russian style boar from the couple of hunt camps that are up here that over the years their fences have gone down. But again, it's not just a big old male or big old female out there. It's like juvenile males. Like, okay, that pig's 8 months old. How'd that happen? Like, so yeah. I keep saying I can't wait. Obviously, it's going to be destructive and awful to our forests and agriculture and stuff like that.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, man, I wish there was pigs here to hunt because it'd be great. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't want that, because all the work that I'm putting into my pastures right now, the first time I walked out there and seen that it's all turned over after I just reseeded it and finally got a good pattern with my cows down.
But then I go, well, very quickly I would go from the body shop, custom butcher and slaughter to the body shop, custom butcher, slaughter, and pig trapping. Oh, you best believe that would be on
Kyle
that
be doing collaborations with Yacht.
Yeah, exactly. I will be the first one. There will be news articles about me when it's still like just sketchy as hell. And I've just got a bunch of dogs in the back of the truck, and it's just like, we're gonna get some pigs. I don't know.
I do want to do that.
They just said they were here yesterday, so
I want to go down south somewhere and hunt with dogs, and I still want to do the helicopter.
Yeah, I want to do the helicopter, but I also do not want to do the helicopter. I definitely want to do with dogs for sure. That's something I absolutely want to do. I'm hopefully going to do that with bears this year.
Oh yeah, you did say something about that.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we're getting 2 bear tags, 2 for the price of 1 this year for bears. So we'll see. But yeah. So what else is going on? Again, guys, this is all planned. 100%.
We've been working on this skit for at least 7 or 8 days.
At least. So, this is absolutely the most scripted show we've had. I have notes right here. There. Notes.
No, finally got caught up from being behind this week in the shop. Got it all deep cleaned. That was kind of nice. Like I said, grandfather's still in rehab, so I've been driving back and forth doing that. He'll be there for at least a couple more weeks. We're still not sure what's going to happen on all the details and stuff. Everybody heals differently, and he's stubborn, but he's been pretty good the last couple of days. Yeah, we're trying to advertise more and pick up some more work and work with some farms.
Nope.
I've had a few people reach out wanting to book, asking questions, but it's that still in that teetering part. People haven't started getting their tax return yet. So I'm trying to push that too. I need to make another post, people that are looking for meat, trying to get them on the list now. So when they do want to start stocking their freezers, I've got 5 whole beef, another quarter beef, a few people that have burger. I've got a lot of beef to move. Not so much on the pork side because everybody tends to raise them summertime. There's not a lot of people that have pork available this time of year. So,
yeah, I just put all of our bellies in the brine. I did the dry brine this time, and I like it way better already, for sure. Again, we have the commercial setup, so I can cryovac everything and have all the big lugs and stuff like that. But, yeah, so I did, what was it? 2, 4, 6, 8 bellies. No, 6 bellies. Because it's 2 from, or technically 3 bellies from the Herefords that we put in the cooler this fall. 2 from Nino, which they're like this big. They actually look decent, but it is what it is. I've got a belly section off of Nubs, the steer we put in this year, and then I peeled the short ribs off and rolled them and tied them. So I'm going to try and make beef bacon out of that.
Nice.
And then I'm doing my first ham, so that'll be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool to see how it turns out. You can never have a bacon that's too small. There's no such thing.
No, I know. I get it. I'm just gonna cut it super thick, so it's just like a little chode slice of bacon.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a square. Like it's not even. I'm gonna have to turn it 4 times to get each side cooked, and I'm fine with it. I don't really care. I can chunk it up for bacon bits. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I've been making. I mix like a pound of ground beef, a pound of sausage, and then a pound of bacon together, and I put eggs in with it. Is like put a little cheese over top. You can use it for that. Putting it in stuff too.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. Man, you want to stay out of the chat. Don't look at it. Don't even look at it. It's not worth it.
Women.
Oh my god. But yeah, so we got a new smoke box built for the smokehouse too, so I'm excited to try that out. I think tomorrow I'm gonna be working in the shop, so I think I'm going to get a good burn in there, burn off all the welding stuff and just that barrel in general, because I think the last time I used it I was boiling skulls in it, so probably wouldn't hurt to toss a little fire in there. I forgot I was probably not going to bring this up, but your wife brought it up. So, Danae Blakesley, Kyle, have you heard anything about Survivor yet? No, I've not. It is getting a little more real. There's some things in the work. I don't want to put it out completely. I've put it out in the group a little bit. The percentage of me getting on is possibly higher now because of knowing people, which is insane that I know enough people to make that percentage jump is crazy.
I know people that know people that also know people.
It's nuts. So let's just say that's there. I don't know. I'm praying. I hope it works. We'll see. I'm still just aggressively rewatching
I don't know.
all the seasons.
I haven't checked out the song yet, but I think that might push you to the top of the list.
We will see. Brian Norton, scrambling from Food Forest Farms, went out of his way to make a song, and I can vamp. I'll pull it up for sure. I'll find
Yeah,
it.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I briefly caught the chat about it.
Let me see. Vamp for me. Nope, that's not it. That's you. That's you from episode 34.
Yes, we are getting a new bull. We went and looked at him last Sunday. He's nice. It's really nice.
Nice.
So
I can't find it right now, and now I'm just wasting time. But yeah, Scramblin' went out of his way to make a country song for me to send to the producers, and then he sent a picture into the chat today, into a couple different chats of him posting the link to a direct CBS Facebook post.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he tagged CBS and Jeff Probst.
Yeah, I think he tagged it. It was on the Survivor.
It was on a Survivor. It was on a Survivor promotion on Facebook, and he tagged CBS in it. So he might put me over the edge. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's.
I don't know. I don't know how many other people have put this much work together to get a crowdfunding of endorsement for them.
Eventually, they're going to be like, just fucking get the guy on the show. We're sick of hearing about it.
There has to be someone in that casting office, because at this point they have to know. They have to know my name at this point.
Yep.
Because it's just continually going in. I was talking to the lady at the grain store the other day. She said she just did it again. Like, she just sent another one in. So I was like, all right, so these things are just still rolling in of this guy needs to be on the show. So at least at some point, somebody's looked at another producer and been like, who the fuck is this? Like, who is this guy? I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm so down the rabbit hole with just Survivor facts at this point that we'll see. I'm on all the forums talking about the new seasons and this, that, and the other. Survivor TikTok is aggressive. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just, at this point, me and my wife just sit and she crochets and I watch, or not crochet, she needle points because she's 84. I love you, honey. She just needle points and we watch just old seasons of Survivor and then just talk about it. Like, we're just like, so what do you think what do you think I should do with this? Because I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it because I think it's hysterical. I don't talk about it anymore of like, if. I say when. I'm like, when I'm on this show, I'll do this. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll probably get voted off. I'll probably be voted off first one. We'll see. Or I'll make $1 million. I keep telling Nicole, I'm like, my main goal obviously is to bring home $1 million. My second goal is to be the funniest person that has been on Survivor in the new era. And they're just going to have to bring me back for an all-star season. And then I just start making money playing Survivor a bunch. That's the goal, kids. That's where it's all going to. I'm not going to be able to farm anymore because I'm going to be in Fiji.
And then I'm going to be sitting here all by myself talking to everybody, waiting for Kyle to come back.
I'm just going to come back. I'm just going to come back gaunt. Like, I'm going to come back like from Dallas Buyers Club. I'm just going to be like 89 pounds. And I'm going to be like, oh, hey, guys, I signed an NDA, so I can't say anything. So, all right, we'll talk about it in 6 months when the show comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll know. I'm not going to tell anyone, but you'll see the signs. Hey, guys. I don't
know. I'm pretty sure that they have food behind the scenes in those shows. There ain't no way.
Dude, I used to think so. I've gone so far down the rabbit hole. They don't. They really don't. Like, you're just not eating.
I'm surprised nobody's murdered like the camera crew or producers. They're eating their snacks while filming, and these people are starving. somebody just fucking
Well,
hallucinates and starts.
there's a rotation of people. There's never any food in the camp. The camera guys' camp is like a little ways away. So it's like they make sure they rotate camera guys through. So it's not like, you're not like, oh, I'm just going to grab a snack real quick, let alone Betsy's over here and she hasn't eaten in 17 days, except for like a dead shark they found.
I would be that guy. Like the way I used to snack, I'd just be sitting there like, everybody's like,
it's just that quiet moment, especially like the overnights, because you're on camera nonstop. Like they talk about it. There's a thing called lockout where you are not allowed to talk you're not allowed to talk to any of the other contestants if the cameras are not on. So it's like there are moments like those moments where they're switching out people that you can't talk to anyone because the cameras aren't rolling. Oh, God. What did Canadian Farmstead say? Canadian Farmstead, on this week of Survivor, Kyle insists he caught a pig and the roast is not from the missing cameraman. Exactly. Man, if they're pigs
he finally caught his Canadian super pig.
Yeah, Kyle caught a Canadian super pig on the coast of Fiji and roasted it up, and now they've been destroying challenges. He is starting to show signs of Jacob Creutzfeldt disease. We don't understand why. That's a smart joke right there. For people who don't understand, Jacob Creutzfeldt is mad cow disease, but for people. So if people eat people, they get Jacob Creutzfeldt disease. That's a smart joke. It's what I do. I'm edgy. It's fine. But yeah, so we will see. It's on my vision board in my mind. That's where we're going. That's where we're going with all this. And then I'll just be TikTok famous for being on Survivor.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It's not. They're absolutely going to look through all of my social media and just me as a person and go, no, we're not putting this guy on TV. What are you talking about?
If they were smart, they would, though.
I know. No, exactly. And that's why I'm really hoping that all of these people voicing their opinion of wanting me on the show. Granted, it was a copy and paste thing on multiple different videos. But again, they took the time out to send the email in the first place.
Yeah.
And the fact that there are people out there campaigning for me in that space, let's just put it that way. I'm like, oh, that might turn the table of like, well, all right. Yeah. You were already casted for this. We might as well toss him into this. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. This has been a great podcast.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Again, I don't even know if I can tell anyone. So even if I do get on, I don't know if I'm able to tell anyone either. So
we're all going to know. Don't worry, guys. We'll know.
Listen, I love all of you, but I like $1 million more.
That is true.
That is true.
Like, so the one day you just don't show up, I know what happened.
Right.
He'll be texting you, hey, you coming on? Or
yeah. Well, it's one of those things. I was talking to my wife about it. This show's been on they're casting season 47 and 48. It's been on for 48 seasons. And they take that show real damn serious when it comes to like the actual content of the show. Like they've yeeted people off that show for leaking information, like pulled them from the island. Like, nope, we're done with that. Like, we're not playing that game. So it's like, they're pretty serious. I'm pretty sure they're pretty serious about those NDAs. That's why you don't get paid until the finale episode comes out. You don't get a check until that finale episode airs and the entire country learns who won.
Yeah, you leak information, you're gonna be sending a check.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a pretty easy thing to do. I'm just gonna be an idiot and just try to have to shut up. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I may go through all that for nothing and get no money.
That would suck. You win and everything, and you slip up once, wait in the 6 months, and next thing you know, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did promise Canadian Farmstead a roll of fencing if I won. So, yes, I will. I will still honor that. I will send you a roll of fencing.
You only need that 2-foot high fencing for those short little pigs he raises.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, those little guys. I'll just buy you some railroad ties. They're not going to jump over those.
Even if they tried, their stomachs hang too low, they teeter on it.
He's going to go out and his board's just going to be on top. Arms and legs going a mile a minute because he can't get off the railroad tie. For those who don't know, Canadian Farmstead raises coonies. And you guys know how much I love them coonies.
Yeah.
And that sounded bad. I hope Opus doesn't clip that one out. Yeah, we'll see. Shit. Well, we're up over an hour. I mean, we kept this thing going for an hour, and we walked into this with nothing except just our amazing personalities. So
we've got a couple guests the next couple weeks coming on.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we have. I think the 16th is the only Saturday we don't have booked, and I think I might be getting that one booked.
The 16th?
So, yeah.
Let me know, because I have another guy that wants to come on. I just wanted to get with you on the date. So
yeah, I do. We do have a farm up by me that's coming on the 23rd, and I cannot remember the name of the farm, so I'm not going to butcher it. It'll come out what the farm is, but they raise elk and yaks.
Nice.
So I am super interested to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, but where can everyone else find you, Joe?
Well, every week here with Kyle on Meet the Critters as usual. blakesleeacr on blakesleeacr on YouTube and on Facebook.
Fantastic.
And in Telegram.
That's right. I guess I'll start with the Telegram. There is, if you do have Telegram, go in the search bar, and actually, you don't have to go in the search bar. The link is in the description of this video under my links. That is the link to the Critter Crew, which is our Telegram group. We've got 30 plus people in there now. Mm-hmm. Again, we got farmers, butchers, just all on good people, and Canadian Farmstead in there that it's just a good sounding board. If anyone has any questions on either butchering or farming, or you're just looking for another Telegram group to mute because there's just absolute nonsense going on there half the time as well. We have fun. We joke a bunch. Go ahead and join our Telegram group. We would appreciate it. And also, I am at Backwoods Butcher on everything that is YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're coming back into the fold. We were taking a little break there for a little bit, just kind of get some mental health stuff going. And now we are back full swing. New video on YouTube coming out tonight. So I appreciate all of you who stuck around. Again, we had a good crowd. I think we were up to 8 at one point for this dumpster fire of a show. So we love all of you. We really do. We appreciate it. The views on YouTube have definitely been going up. The downloads behind the scenes on the podcast apps have also been going up. So people are listening, and we appreciate you guys for sure. So if you guys have any topic ideas or anything you want us to discuss, please email us. I think both our websites are in the description. And again, Telegram. Go ahead, reach out. We'd love to talk to you. So we will see you guys next time.